What's up YouTube, Saabaru Media here, driving around in a 2005 Saab 92X Aero today. This is a very unique car in its own way because it's a Subaru on the inside but Saab on the outside. Before I get into reviewing this car, I quickly wanted to go over the history of Saab as a company and how Subaru and GM kind of came together back in 2005. Not to bore you guys, but I think it's kind of important that you know how everything went down back in early 2000. Saab, as many of you know, is a Swedish company. And back in 2000, when company wasn't doing so well, it went up for sale. And GM decided to purchase the company, and 100% of Saab was owned by GM. In 2005, when GM decided to produce new product line from Saab, they also owned 20% share of Subaru. So they basically said, look Subaru, you have the WRX wagon, why can't we use the same platform and rebadge it as Saab? A lot of people in the automotive industry call this rebadging or badge engineering, which is kind of a sarcastic way of saying rebadging because not real engineering goes into a vehicle when you're rebadging it. You're essentially taking the same power plant, same interior, same chassis, and putting into another vehicle with slight modification on the exterior pieces. And this is actually pretty common in the automotive industry. I mean, you look at the 3000 GT and Dodge Stealth, it's basically the same car. And of course, you DSM guys should notice the Eagle Talons and Mitsubishi Eclipse are also rebadged badge engineering cars. It's mainly done because automotive manufacturers want to produce a new line of vehicle with this amount of development engineering cost. So it's commonly done, it's nothing special, but it's unique in its own way because it produces cars like the Saabaru. In 2005, GM was all about producing the Subaru-powered Saab, but in 2006, GM realized that the Saabarus weren't selling so well, so they discontinued the cars. The X92 was only sold in 2005 and 2006 with the Subaru platform. In 2005, it came with the EJ20 2-liter boosted Subaru engine. In 2006, it came with the EJ25 2.5 liter, which is commonly seen in the STIs. 2005 Saab X92s, because it's a 2-liter, has higher rev limiter of 7,000 RPM, while the 2006 have lower RPM at around 6,000, but you get more torque out of it because, of course, it's a 2.5 liter. In 2010, GM realized that they weren't doing so well with the brand Saab, so they let go of it, and it was sold to some Chinese company, and I think it's now owned by some electric vehicle company over in Sweden again. Now that we are done with the boring history lesson of how Subaru, Saab, and GM all came together to create this super special vehicle, let's get into the review of this 2005 Saab 92X Aero. In 2005, Saab created the X92 in Aero package and non-Aero package. The Aero version is the one I'm driving today, and it's got the turbo. The owner of this car actually used to own an Evo, and that's how I know him. But long story short, he didn't want to get any more tickets, he didn't like the attention from the police officers, so he wanted something that was more classy, more laid back, that didn't stand out so much to the police officers. I could pull up next to cops all day in this car and they wouldn't even look at the car because it's a Saab. Little do they know that it's a Subaru WRX on the inside and I'm tearing up in the mountains. Of course, my friend being a previous Evo owner, he wasn't satisfied with a stock Saabaru. So he got the Cobb Stage 1 tune on this car with Bora Catback exhaust. It also has a Swiss spring upgrade, so it does feel pretty agile for a wagon. It doesn't feel sloppy. And to be honest, it's more agile than the 2012 WRX hatch that I test drove the other day, which was pretty much bone stock. When you sit down in this car and look forward, there's nothing Saab about it. It's essentially a 2005 Subaru WRX with Saab badge on the steering wheel. Compared to a standard WRX wagon, this 92X is a little bit superior. The motor on this car is essentially a Subaru WRX, but Saab did incorporate their own features to improve on mechanical side of things. For example, the steering wheel has been imported from the STI steering rack, so you get more responsive feel to the car. Saabaru has stiffer bushings as well as aluminum control arm in the rear. Saab owners are interesting because on one side you have the enthusiasts, like my friend who used to have an Evo but sold it because he wanted a low profile fun car. It's a Saab with WRX on the inside. On the other side, you have the saku moms and grandmas who just want a nice car that can haul a lot of stuff because it's a wagon from point A to B. When you're looking for a Saab 92X, there are a lot of grandmas and saku moms selling these cars for dirt cheap, unabused, similar to what this car is. It's got 30,000 miles, super clean. The owner of this car picked it up from an older lady who had no idea of its capabilities. Because it was only produced in 2005 and 2006, this car is somewhat of a rare car, especially in its manual transmission and aero package where it's boosted. It's interesting when you show up to car shows because you have broken away from that WRX crowd. You have on one side the Subaru enthusiast looking over you like, oh damn, yep, that's a Saab with Subaru on the inside. And you have Euro guys looking over you like, oh, that's a Saab, but it's a Subaru at the same time. That's kind of cool. And they give you that nod, you know. You're essentially a grown-up adult version of a Subaru WRX owner who gets props from both the Japanese enthusiasts as well as European vehicle enthusiasts. When people say, oh, I hate domestic cars, I hate imports, I hate Japanese cars, I hate German cars, you gotta consider what goes into developing these cars. Just because it's branded Saab doesn't mean it's made in Europe. Cars you see now in 2015 and so on are bits and pieces combined together from all different parts of the world. It's not most reliable to build a car from one supplier, one manufacturer. When people tell you that they don't like foreign cars or domestic cars, you gotta tell them, you know, it's not made in America or 100% made in Germany or 100% made in Japan nowadays. You can't think that way. And Saabaru is a perfect example of how car manufacturer can come together to create this great piece of machinery. Would I recommend the Saab 92X? Of course, it's all-wheel drive, 4 cylinders. You can put on exhaust if you enjoy the boxer rumble sound, no problem. Can probably find these cars for unabused, clean condition like this car is in. Nowadays, there are so many teenagers who just got license and they want to get a Subaru, they want to get an Evo, and they abuse the shit out of it. So it's becoming harder and harder to find a clean WRX. If you're looking for something that's been unabused, untouched, classy looking luxurious car that's gonna get least amount of attention from the police, this would be the perfect car for you. Well, thanks again for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit the like button if you like the video. And let me know what you think about Saabarus in general. Do you track the Saabaru? If you do, let me know, because I haven't really seen these cars modified to its full potential like you would on the Subaru WRXs. So I would love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next car review.